Hey! How everybody's doing? Hope you're doing good. Hope you're feeling good. Welcome to the Living Room Show. I'm your host, Timeless Tate. And this show is all about inspiring the community, healing and loving the community. So let's get started, shall we? Now, as we all know, by the way, Happy New Year's. Happy New Year. As we all know, I start my day with something positive, something inspirational, some positive affirmations. So I want to share with you something that I got that I think would be, good. So, Auntie Maxine, the lady we love, the lady we just, she's our favorite, right? Miss Congresswoman Maxine Waters. So I have a quote from her and I want to share with y'all. And it says, I am one who believes in the power of the people. I'm inspired when I see people hit the streets who challenge the elected officials and are willing to stand up and fight. I always encourage you. And that to me speaks to us as a people fighting and being more civic engaged, paying attention to legislations and speaking our mind and pushing for what's right. And I'm always been about humanitarianism, social justice movements, activism work, because I believe that when you have marginalized people, when you have people going through so much, you need to speak about it. You need to make sure that their voice is heard and you're making difference and change. And that's what I'm all about, community. I'm about making sure that people get true liberation and true fulfillment within their life and getting world peace and world change and making some things, dismantling systematic oppressions and things like that. So, our girl Auntie Miss Waters came with some good inspiration. So thank you, Miss Maxine Waters, and keep doing great work. We love you. As you know, the millennials love you. And she loves us. So let's move on to, book of the week. So for the book of the week this week, because I celebrate Black literacy. I celebrate us loving books and taking time to read and enjoy literature. This book for this week is called Amazing Africa, Projects You Can Build Yourself. So this book fascinated me. I was interested when I first saw it. It's a children's book, more like elementary. And it talks about everything about Africa. It's an arts and craft books for Black parents who have Black children and Black educators or teachers who have predominantly working in all Black schools or all Black classroom or all Black school setting. This is for you. And I like what's in this book. It talks about so many things about African culture, African traditions. I also have a chapter in here about learning the different languages in Africa. I don't think that in education we talk about, the different ways we use our words in Africa, the different languages, the different tribes. So this book is very important. I recommend that all Black parents sit down with their children and have a conversation. It's a conversation starter. And this book is just amazing to me because it talks about also the African empires and kingdoms that we had, different civilizations. It talks about the wildlife, the animals. It talks about the elements. It talks about the power of the Nile River. It talks about different things that Black kids we just didn't grow up with sometimes. We didn't normally know. And I think that this book is here for us to continue our knowledge, to building on what we was first taught. So I recommend all my Black educators of history and art, geography, maybe social studies to come pick this book up and check it out. And parents, with children, let's say from 5 to 10, elementary age, maybe a little lower middle school, check this book out. It's a powerful conversation. It's arts and crafts in here. There's a lot of good tips, you know, to build some things, and it's nice to have it. I think that this talks about, for me, my love for African American studies and African diaspora studies. It speaks to this as well. And it's a nice little book to have in your bookshelf. It's a nice book for black teachers to put in your curriculum and to look into and say, okay, this is good, this is, you know, not for this class, or this is really good for this class. And, you know, I'm just fascinated. It talks about the blood diamond. It talks about the minerals we can find in Africa. It talks about the pottery systems, the different trading systems, the legal systems in Africa. The different head garments and clothing that we used to wear and we still sometimes wear in Africa. And it talks about the flowering and everything. The power of the desert, the power of the rainforest. It's a good book to have. And I think that it's a treasure for black families, a treasure for black schools. The educational system needs this. So, you know, go check it out. Tell me what you think. And I probably won't put this like in the link below. So yeah, go check it out. And the book is called, once again, Amazing Africa. Projects you can build yourself. And this speaks to me so much. And the kids will love it. And I know that the teachers and the parents will love to have this conversation and build our love for African American studies and African history as well. Let's go check that out. Tell me what you think. All that good stuff. Alrighty. So, I'm also here to talk about different natural remedies. Now we know it's winter and it's cold, and when people out here coughing, some people got the flu, some people got the sniffles, and I got you covered. I got some natural things that you can take in and you can use at home. Yeah, right at home. So this is what I found. I'm always using tea, so I have some tea for you. The tea I'm using tonight was called honey lemon ginger tea. Now, as we all know, tea has different factors in it and different minerals and things that we need to keep us going, keep us in good health and wellness. So this one says use 3 drops of honey, or maybe just 3 tablespoons of honey. And my favorite is the lemon. Cut up a lemon into 3 slices and put those 3 slices and let it soak for like a good minute in the hot tea. If you don't want to do that, you can squeeze at least 3 tablespoons of lemon juice in the hot tea and let it soak. That's another thing. Also, you can use ginger. Put ginger and sprinkle that in it and stir. And it's another thing I can use too. You can use garlic. The website talks about garlic. I don't think people understand the power remedies of garlic. Garlic has antibiotics in it. And when you smell it, it can clean out your mucus system in your respiratory system. And it cleans out your sinuses and clean out everything. And it naturally fights off different things. Now, you know, garlic got a little taste to it. It can be a little nasty. But if you don't want to try garlic, go back to trying just ginger. And tell me what you think. You know, a little honey, a little lemon, a little ginger could be nice. A little garlic, you know. But try it and see. And I'm pretty sure you'll have some nice breathing. You'll have some nice respiration. You'll have some nice sleeping. You'll be coughing less and all that good stuff. So that's some natural remedies that gets you through the wintertime. Make you sleep well and you breathe well. Then you got it from me on the living room shelf. So let's see what else. What else? I do want to talk about some good news that's going around the world. One thing I always talk about is making sure that we have positive images and positive messaging going out the world, and you know, making sure that we not flooding our brains with just bad news and what's going on in politics, what's going on, what's bad in society. It's my point to put joyfulness first and put happiness first. and make sure that we have some type of good news to talk about. And honey, we got some good news. So in Kenya, they launched a new self-esteem, self-defense program to fight off sexual assault, rape, sexual violence, and teaching boys and girls of ages 10 to 19 in Kenya, Africa. And this program was launched, I think, 2 years ago. And they just getting like a lot, I think got a new teacher, a new program to it. And they're saying already that the young boys and girls are learning defense, different defenses. They're learning about rape culture. They're learning about the power of saying no. They're learning about the different dating tips, what to do and not to do. And they also are building self-esteem. They do a chant in this training program that says this: I am strong. I got my spirit. I'm beautiful. I can defend myself. I'm worth defending. And you cannot hurt me. So, in this 2-hour session they do a week, they do this chant. And they focus on different self-esteem things, like that building your self-esteem, building your awareness of your surroundings. And according to the article, they have had 12,000 girls and boys enrolled in Kenya. And the police department has said that it has slowed down the record numbers of rape and sexual assault. So what it tell you? I always told people training and education can really change a nation, just like Conversations had. And I love what Kenya is doing. You're educating people about sexual assault and rape, which is a topic we have to talk about. That's what's going on outside. And I'm so happy to see that Kenya is setting the tone and giving it so much visibility and more talking about it. And young girls can have this conversation. And I'm so happy he said gender-based violence, because we also got to understand sometimes women can be violent to men, and sometimes men can be violent to women. So I'm so happy to open a training program for both boys and young girls, which is very, very, to me, equal and very understanding that it can go both ways. So you're basically healing the whole community by educating the community. There you go. Come on, Kenya. So some more good news is happening in Iceland. Now, Iceland started off the year right for New Year's. On January 1st, on New Year's Day, Iceland passed a legislation that says the country will have equal pay for women and men. And it will be illegal for women to be paid less than men. You heard me. Yes. So Iceland passed legislation saying they will legalize equal pay for men and women. And already 25 women since January 1st, which was like a couple days ago, 25 women were paid equally in their organizations and in their businesses based on this new equality legislation and bill. And I'm so happy that Iceland set the tone, because we do know that sometimes women in the workforce, women in business are paid unequal, and it's not completely disproportionate. It's just disproportionate. And we have to change that. So I'm so happy that Iceland set the tone, because America should be coming next, hopefully, and around the world, all over the countries, all over the different continents. We need to make sure that we have equal pay for women. I'm so happy that Iceland did that. And let's follow up and see what exactly happened. So that's some good news for you. The last good news I want to share with you is something more environmental. In Netherlands, they're using plastic bottles they found that was used as trash in the oceans. They're using recycling matter and different bottles and things like that they found on the grass, in the yard, people's backyards. They're using those materials that was used for recycling, and they're making new roads, pavements, and parking lots. You heard me. Yes. So that's one way to do it. The Netherlands found out that if people are going to throw trash in the oceans, messing up our ecosystems, messing up our biomes, environments, polluting the earth, which is our place that we live. We keep forgetting that we're living in a bubble called Earth, Mother Earth. We need to use these materials that people are throwing out and make something of it. And scientists in Netherlands are using the materials they found on the side of the road and oceans to make new roads, new pavements, and new parking lots. They've been constructive. They're turning trash into treasure. Trash into something we all can use as humans. And I definitely know that if they keep doing this, people will follow suit around the world. And I'm happy for it. I think it's important if we talk about politics and social justice, we got to talk about environmental justice. We got to talk about taking care of Mother Earth and taking care of all the elements. Earth, water, taking care of everything that we need. We all connected. It's all as one. And I think people need to focus on environmental, just as they need to focus on community outreach and changing the world through that. So let's, go green, and let's make sure that we keep motherland and our Mother Nature area, our eco-friendly. Keep everything nice and clean and pristine, because this is the land for next generations. This is the soil we must preserve and conserve for next generations. So let's go green, and let's be more aware of our environment, keeping our environment clean. So that's all that I have for today with the good news and the Black literacy. I'm going to read the book one more time for you, the title. Go get this book, y'all. It's good for Black educators. It's good for all Black parents to teach your children about African culture and African traditions. It's called Amazing African Projects You Can Build Yourself. And I'm going to leave you with that note. I hope y'all enjoyed your New Year's. Hope you spent some time with your family, with some friends. Hope that you reflect on what you did last year, that you can do better this year. Or maybe some great things you did last year you can push over into this year. Whatever you thought about, hope it's positive. Hope it was fun. I hope it made you feel good. And all those great things. So enjoy your week, enjoy your day, all those good things. And thank you for watching and listening. The Living Room Show. And I'm your host, Timeless Tate. And remember, love yourself, express yourself, and just be yourself. Alright? Until next time, until next videos, take care, and God bless.